Hello and welcome to Guides.Global. This video is about how to deal with accidents that might happen in Spain. My name is John Howell and I'm the editorial director of Guides.Global, and with me today I have Antonio Manzanares, who is a partner in the law firm Manzanares International, based here in Marbella on the Costa del Sol in Spain. Antonio, welcome and thank you for coming.
Hello, thank you.
We're going today to deal with accidents, and really we're dealing mainly with accidents that involve vehicles. But many of the same principles, of course, apply to other accidents. But it's worth pointing out that you are the author of our guides to how to deal with traffic accidents in Spain, how to deal with all types of accidents in Spain.
Correct.
And that we've also recorded other videos about this and related topics.
Okay.
So we encourage people to have a look at those.
Perfect.
And you're also the partner here at Manzanares who's in charge of accident litigation.
Yeah, I am the coordination of
Yes.
all different lawyers involved in that. Yeah.
So there are 6 parts to this video. We're dealing with the basics, we're dealing with the things that you have to do before you have an accident and the things you have to do immediately after you have an accident. So let's start with some of the absolute basics. There seemed to me, having driven hundreds of thousands of miles around Spain over the years, seems to me that you have more road accidents in Spain than we see certainly in Britain and maybe in France. Is that a fair comment, or is it a distortion?
No, we have many of them.
Yes.
We have many of them, and it's true that we have many accidents. Yeah.
And of course, until recently, the roads were very narrow and very twisty, and there were very few 2-lane highways, whereas now you have a fantastic road system in Spain.
That is.
So I imagine that the number of accidents is falling. Is that true?
Yeah, it's falling a lot.
Yes.
Okay, in compare with 5 years ago, we have 20% less of accidents in Spain than we had. Yeah.
Yes, and it must help that people now drink a lot less when they're driving than they used to.
Of course, and the law is very strict with that. Yeah.
I can remember when I was first working in Spain, I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to drive to Madrid, and I would stop for breakfast, and there would be all the people in their big trucks having
drinking
big brandies to go to fortify them for the journey. But those days have gone.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore.
No. So you have quite a lot of accidents here, and I think quite a lot of accidents involve foreigners.
Yeah.
And that's because the foreigners may, as in the case of British, be driving on the wrong side of the road, or they're just not used to the road signs or whatever it is. So for a foreigner, being alert to accidents is particularly important, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just talk briefly about the police.
Yeah.
In Spain, you have various different types of police. If you get stopped by one, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because they're all the same when you get stopped. It's just that they all have different responsibilities.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the police for the purposes of this video, it doesn't matter whether it's a Guardia Civil or a Policía Nacional or a local police officer.
Yeah.
It's the same. He's a policeman and you have to do
It's
what
a
he
policeman and you must stop.
Yeah.
In Spain in general, we have 3 types of police. We have the national police that you can find anywhere in Spain. We have the Guardia Civil that is similar than the national police, but it's a bit different, and they cover that areas where the national police cannot attend. Okay, a small town,
countryside.
Countryside, you find the Guardia Civil there. You don't find the national police. In big cities, you will find the national police, and the local police is involved with the traffic and the regulation of the rules, okay, in one particular town. It is that local police, national police, and Guardia Civil. But if any of them are going to stop you, stop.
And they've all got guns.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that many foreigners notice in Spain is that there are a lot more police than they're used to in their own country.
Yeah.
You probably won't notice so much because you're here all the time. But for example, in England, I could drive 300 kilometers down the motorway and maybe not see a single police car.
Yeah.
Whereas here in Spain, you would see many police cars.
Many. Yeah.
I personally quite like that.
Yeah.
but it's also much more likely you'll be stopped here. It is quite common for the police just to stop cars at random and want to see your documentation and to check that everything is in order.
Yeah, that is. It is that the police, in many occasions, they stop you, not because you have done something wrong. It is just to do an inspection that you have all the documentation that you should have in order, and maybe to do an inspection of your vehicle. If everything is fine, as it happened in many cases, you continue.
Yes. Okay. And so if you are stopped, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean to say you've done something wrong or that you're in danger.
No.
It is just a perfectly normal part of driving in Spain.
That is something normal in Spain. Yes.
Insurance. If you are driving a car in Spain, you must have insurance. That's the law.
That is the law.
If you are a foreigner visiting Spain, then generally your own national insurance will cover you if you're from the European Union.
Yeah.
But if you are living in Spain, if you have a holiday home, for example, in Spain, and you have a car here as well as back home, then you'll need a Spanish insurance policy to cover your use of the car here.
Yeah, you must have an insurance that should be valid in Spain, of course.
And there are lots of different types of insurance, aren't there, available here?
Yeah.
I think there's more categories of insurance in Spain than we have in quite a lot of other European countries.
Yeah.
So it's worthwhile people studying a little bit the insurances that are available and deciding which one is best for them, because some are much more expensive than others.
Yeah.
Now, we do have a guide to insurance in Spain, so if that's of interest to you, please do have a look. What is the minimum compulsory insurance? In other words, what do you need to have in order to drive legally on the road?
Okay, you can have different type of insurance, okay, but the minimum is an insurance that is going to cover any problem that you have causing to any other people, and that is your fault. Okay, it is that is the minimum insurance that you can have.
So this is to protect what we call third parties.
To protect third parties. That is correct. There are other type of insurance in Spain. For example, we have todo riesgo. It is full cover, and that insurance is going to cover anything, any problem, any damage that you are doing to third parties, and any problem, any damage that you are having with the accident. Okay, but it depends of the type, level of insurance that you want.
But you must have as a basic minimum this third party
insurance.
Your legal obligations when you're driving a vehicle in Spain. What documents do you have to carry with you?
Yeah, you must have the insurance.
Yes.
Okay? The documentation of the vehicle, okay,
so the registration of the vehicle.
The registration of the vehicle and confirming who has the ownership of the vehicle. Okay.
And if you don't own the vehicle, do you need anything extra?
You will if you need a document from the owner of the vehicle giving you the authorization to drive.
So it could be from the car hire company saying, here's my car hire agreement. Or if you borrowed a car from a friend, it would be a letter from the friend saying, I have authorized this man to drive my car.
Yeah, it is that you must have that document, the insurance, the registration of the car, and you must have the driving license, okay, with you.
Yes.
And another document that you must have if you are living in Spain is the confirmation that you have paid the stamp duties, the taxes for
the car.
The car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in Spain, like in many other countries, there's a special tax you have to pay every year to use the car.
To the town hall, you must pay annually one stamp duty, one tax, and only the case that you are resident, you are living in Spain, and the car is in your name, you must have that document on the car.
Yes. And so those are the documents you need in order to drive a car. And then, of course, on top of that, there are the documents you always have to have, such as proof of your identity, your national identity card, your passport, or whatever.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, in many countries are very relaxed about carrying these documents. I mean, nobody ever bothers. But in Spain, really, you should have them at all times. And if you get stopped by a police officer and you don't have your registration document and you don't have your insurance, it can get quite complicated.
Yeah, you will be fined for that.
You'll be fined for not having the documents, and they can also stop the car, can't they? Seize the car until you produce them. So this, if you're out with your family not a good start to the day, really, if you've been stopped and they take your car.
Absolutely.
No. So, you've got all those documents. Any police officer has the right to stop you at any time and insist on seeing them.
To check it.
Yes. Yeah. In your experience, how often would you say you get stopped? How many times a year?
It is that it can be in 1 year. In normal circumstances, you can be stopped 2-3 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
not because you have done something wrong. It is just
exactly. This is not because you're a bad driver. This is not because you look a dishonest man. It's because they just do it routinely.
Yeah.
Yes.